Ever get that feeling, like you're reading a news story straight out of the history books?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Today's one of those days, my friend,
Mhm.
because we are diving deep, and I mean deep, into the indictment of a sitting New York City mayor.
Unprecedented.
First time ever
Yeah, wow.
in NYC's history, which is, let's be honest, a long time.
It's a big deal.
We're talking about, of course, Mayor Eric Adams,
Right.
elected just a couple years back.
Still early days, really, for something like this to hit.
And yet, here we are. I've got a stack of articles here, news, analysis, the whole shebang.
Let's get into it.
So by the end of this deep dive, you'll know exactly what went down, what it means, and just maybe what it reveals about the future of, well, America's most famous city.
Right. Absolutely. I think that's the most interesting part of all this, really what happens next.
Exactly. So first things first, lay it on us. What are the charges against Mayor Adams?
Okay, so we're talking federal charges here, and that's important.
Federal meaning?
Meaning this isn't just some local matter, you know? This has caught the attention of federal prosecutors, which usually means one of two things, or maybe both. Either the alleged crime crossed state lines, or it involves a breach of federal law, which ups the stakes considerably.
Okay, so this is serious stuff, but the details are still kind of murky, right? Because it's a sealed indictment.
Exactly, and that just adds another layer to this whole thing.
Adds to the drama, for sure.
Right, it's like a legal thriller. We know something big is going down, but we're all kind of left hanging, waiting for that aha moment when the indictment's unsealed and bam, all the details are laid bare for the world to see. Prosecutors love doing this, by the way.
How come?
Oh, tons of reasons. Sometimes it's to protect the investigation, make sure no one gets tipped off, witnesses don't get tampered with, that kind of thing. Other times it's strategic, a way to keep the pressure on, build suspense.
And probably make a bigger splash when it finally drops.
Oh, absolutely. It guarantees headlines. But, sealed indictment or not, we do have some clues about what led to this point. From what we've been hearing, this isn't some isolated incident. This indictment comes after multiple investigations into Mayor Adams' administration.
And at the heart of it all.
Campaign finance. Allegations of some very shady dealings when it comes to how money was raised for his campaign.
And that's where these straw donor whispers come in.
Exactly. Now, for our listeners who might not be familiar with the term, a straw donor is basically someone who acts as a front, a way to funnel money to a campaign illegally.
So, like, someone else is really behind the donation, pulling the strings.
Precisely. And there are strict laws against this sort of thing for a reason. Campaign finance laws, they're all about transparency, about making sure everyone plays by the rules. You can't just have unlimited money, especially from hidden sources, flooding into elections. That's how you end up with a system rigged against the average person.
And it gets even more complicated because on top of the straw donor allegations, there's this whole other layer of the story, this connection to individuals, and correct me if I'm wrong, with ties to Turkey.
You're right, there is. And that adds a whole other dimension to this whole thing. The possibility of foreign influence in a U.S. election. And that's a big no-no. It strikes at the heart of our democracy.
Okay, so let's say, hypothetically, these allegations turn out to be true. What kind of legal trouble are we talking about for Mayor Adams? What's the worst case scenario here?
We're talking serious legal jeopardy. Campaign finance violations, I'm not taken lightly. Depending on the severity, he could be facing anything from hefty fines to, in the most extreme case, jail time. And even if he avoids jail time, the political fallout could be career-ending. We've seen it happen before, time and again, where a scandal like this just completely tarnishes a politician's reputation, their legacy, everything.
It's a long way down from City Hall.
It can be.
So how's the mayor responding to all of this?
Well, predictably, he's come out swinging, denying any wrongdoing, and he's stated categorically that he has no plans to resign. But let's be real, the pressure is mounting.
It gotta be immense.
Oh, absolutely. And it's coming from all sides. Even some members of his own party, high-profile figures like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, have called for him to step down. So, yeah, the pressure is definitely on.
And this couldn't come at a worse time for him politically, right? With a mayoral primary on the horizon, I mean, this throws his entire political future into question.
It's no exaggeration to say this could be a make-or-break moment for him. Will voters look past this? Or will this whole indictment, whether it leads to a conviction or not, just be too much to overcome? It's going to be fascinating to see how this all plays out.
And it's not just about Mayor Adams, right? This whole scandal, it raises bigger questions about governance in New York City. Can a mayor under this kind of cloud facing these kinds of allegations even effectively lead?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's a question a lot of New Yorkers are asking themselves right now. Can City Hall function? Can the mayor focus on the needs of the city with this hanging over his head?
And let's put this in context for a second. We had, let's be honest, some colorful mayors here in New York.
Yeah.
Have we ever seen anything like this before? Or is this truly uncharted territory?
You know, New York City's political scene, it's never been short of drama. We've had our share of scandals over the years, some big, some small. But this is different. This level of legal scrutiny, of potential wrongdoing against a sitting mayor, it's unprecedented. There's really no roadmap for how this plays out.
And meanwhile, we wait. We wait for the other shoe to drop, for that indictment to be unsealed and all the details to come spilling out. It's like the whole city's holding its breath.
It's more than just the city, don't you think? This isn't just about one mayor or one election. This is about trust. Trust in our leaders, trust in our institutions, trust in the very system itself.
Yeah.
And the question we're left with, the question we all have to grapple with is, how much will this erode that trust?
It's a question that'll stay with us long after today's deep dive is over. Join us next time as we unpack another compelling issue right here, same time, same place.
See you then.
Bye for now.